Welcome back to Giants Latest. Hit that subscribe button and thumbs up for more New York Giants videos. Let's talk about Keenan Allen because this has seemingly been a popular topic on social media this week. Before we get into the UDFAs, we need to cover off on this. So I have seen some inklings that he's been linked to the Giants, that maybe he's going to come here and whatnot. So this is what I know about it, is that the Giants were seemingly involved or interested in him, but they haven't brought him in for any type of workout. It sounds like it hasn't really gone any further than that. So my thought process for someone like Allen is that he is looking for a starting role. And I think when you look at the Giants wide receiver room, he's going to be wide receiver 4 here. He's not starting over Wandale Slayton or Malik Neighbors. So he could be involved in that rotation, but I just don't know if at his age, at 33 years old, if that's what he's looking for. And I would also bet that he's probably looking for some sort of decent contract, right? He's been in the league for 11 years at this point. He obviously has a really good history. He's 6'2", 211 pounds, recently with the Chargers. He won Comeback Player of the Year. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler. This guy's not coming in for a veteran minimum contract, right? And if the Giants are willing to spend money on a wide receiver, then I think Allen or Gabe Davis are both good options for them. I think they fit the system well. I think the coaching staff would like them. I think Dable would be able to find a good usage for either one of them. So I definitely think he's a good option. I just personally feel like I'm not sure that he would be on board with being wide receiver 4 in this offense. You never know, but I haven't heard any more updates from the Giants or anyone I know involved with them that this is something that they are really pursuing. So if anything changes, I will let you guys know. But as of right now, I don't really see it happening. Maybe he's just waiting to see if he gets offers from other teams. I don't know, but we'll find out soon enough. Let's get back into the UDFAs because there are a couple more here that we need to discuss. Now, next week, we're really going to dive into the offensive line because I have been hearing a lot of concerns from Giants fans that when are we going to sign a veteran offensive lineman and our O-line still sucks and blah, blah, blah. So maybe I'm just going to do a whole episode devoted to the Giants offensive line because there are more players on the team than I think a lot of people expect that there are for O-line. So that'll be a fun one. So the reason that I was just going on about the O-line is because they signed a UDFA offensive lineman, RJ Perry. So he played at USF. He's 6'6", 330 pounds, good size for an offensive lineman. He played in Tennessee from 2020 to 2022, and then he ended up transferring spring 2023 to USF. So I don't have a ton of information on him. This is the case with these UDFAs. Sometimes I find full paragraphs, sometimes I find not much. So what I do know about Perry is that he started in 2024 for 12 games and that he started at left tackle. And he was a decent offensive lineman, not amazing, not horrible, but the fact that he has that left tackle experience shows to me that that's why the Giants are focused on him. I think it's also the same reason, or one of the reasons why they loved Marcus Bowe is he has played guard before, but they said he's playing tackle. So I think they're really focused on trying to find a good swing tackle because as much as we love Andrew Thomas, the reality is that he is injury prone and that they need good backup there. So we'll see what we get out of RJ Perry. I'm curious to see if we, see him at all this summer and if he gets rotated in with the ones. You never know. We'll find out soon enough. Let's move over to wide receiver Nate McCollum because the Giants have brought in, I think this is the 4th UDFA wide receiver that we are talking about. On top of that, there's also been rumors about Keenan Allen and now Gabe Davis getting cut. So it sounds like there probably will be some good options for them at wide receiver. So let's talk about Nate. He is from UNC, 5'8.5", 185 pounds. Sounds like another slot guy. He actually played at Georgia Tech for a few years before he ended up transferring over to UNC. And fun fact about when he was at Georgia Tech, he had 60 receptions, which marked the most by a Georgia Tech receiver in a single season since Calvin Johnson in 2006. So impressive. He had an impressive year with Georgia Tech. During that season, he received honorable mentions, and that was his breakout season. So those 60 receptions led to 655 yards and 3 touchdowns. He finished 5th in the league in receptions, 10th in receiving yards, and tied for 5th in 100-yard receiving games. He joined 2 players in the ACC to have multiple games with at least 8 receptions 100 receiving yards, and a touchdown. So overall, pretty good career at Georgia Tech. I'm not entirely sure why he transferred over to UNC, but a guy that obviously was productive in that system. Good work as a slot receiver, multiple 100-yard games. Love the sounds of that. And, like I talked about in the previous episode, is we don't really have a backup for Wan'Dale. So I think bringing in some more options for slot receivers is really important for this team. Wan'Dale has done a nice job of being pretty reliable and being healthy, but he's also in the last year of his contract. And I don't know if the Giants are going to be willing to spend money on a slot receiver. I think that Wan'Dale has been pretty productive for this team. I'm curious to see if they use him more efficiently and in a better way this year, especially on third down. You know how this drives me crazy. With a new quarterback, I think that having Russell Wilson is hopefully going to bring a lot more production to all of the wide receivers. But I think Wan'Dale specifically is going to be someone who really benefits from that, because the way that he's going to be targeted is going to be better, because he's actually going to get the ball thrown to him in his chest as opposed to at his feet or over his head. For someone who is not very tall, that's very important. So I hope to see more of that from Wan'Dale, but I'm curious to see if a guy like Nate McCollum will get a chance. The summer is going to be very interesting, guys. There are a lot of players that we're going to be talking about, and hopefully we see some good things from them. But we're not done with wide receivers. The reason why I didn't include him in, the 4 wide receivers that we basically have talked about already is Dalon Comrie is basically a special teamer. So I think he's going to be involved more with special teams than anything else. He is 6 feet, 192 pounds, second in special teams tackles in 2024. This is a fun fact about him that I found from Bobby Skinner. He actually was in the quarterback room as an emergency quarterback. So who knows? Maybe he will be a wildcat quarterback sometimes. You never know. He has some experience holding. So since 2020, he has been 156 for 161 on extra points and 59 for 70 on field goals. He won the Lou Groza Award. He said eventually he wants to be a coach, so he should have very good leadership skills based on that, I would like to assume. And then he has over 1,000 special team snaps since 2020 and 195 offensive snaps. So if they bring this guy in, he's really going to be focused on special teams. And, over the years, our special teams have really lacked any sort of good, fun, exciting play. We had one last year when Isaiah Simmons blocked the field goal in Seattle and ran it back for a touchdown. Like that's it. And we've had maybe one other blocked kick in the last probably 5 years. So I would like to see some good, efficient special teams. I also think the fact that the NFL changed the rule again, that on the touchback, instead of going to the 25-yard, you're now going to the 35-yard line. So I expect to see some better special teams for the Giants after this. So we'll see. Time will tell, but stay tuned because we are going to focus a lot on the offensive line, and we'll talk more about the defensive line next week too. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and thank you for watching.